Well, once the dust has settled, it will appear that Josh Trank's The Fantastic Four will be remembered merely as a footnote amongst comic book film adaptations made over the years. So it begs the question, just what exactly happened? How did it go wrong? Who screwed it up? Who's to blame? But believe it or not, Trank's Fantastic Four is not the first Fantastic Four film to have those very questions raised about it. No, I am not referring to Tim Story's Fantastic Four films, which I actually liked. I am rewinding the clock almost a whole generation. We're going way back to when comic books weren't in vogue. We're going way back to when Batman was the only major blockbuster comic book adaptation being made. We're going back to the day when the original Fantastic Four hit the screen. When the original Fantastic Four was made, but never hit the big screen. What happened? How did that not get released? While director Marty Langford's documentary Doomed, the untold story of Roger Corman's The Fantastic Four, answers just those very questions and then some. This entertaining and enlightening and funny and just very enjoyable documentary takes you behind the scenes from the creation through the making of, through the unmaking of, and the unreleasing of that film. It's amazing and just so funny and crazy to think how executives and studios can basically just manipulate things. No, it's not, because we saw that happen recently with The Amazing Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man 2, and we all seen how that turned out, so never mind. But Langford's documentary is very entertaining. He brings in many principles involved in the making of this film, from Roger Corman himself to all the cast members of the Fantastic Four, the composers, editors, the director, costume designers, effects people, even the on-set publicity, and they all discussed how they were excited about they were making the Fantastic Four movie. Even, yeah, it's a low budget. They were fine with that, but they wanted to make the best Fantastic Four movie for $1 million. Yeah, and Tranks was what, like 125, 150. So their intention was to make the best one ever. But unbeknownst to them, a studio executive and producer had ulterior motives for the film. His intention was basically that by a given date, he had to make a Fantastic Four movie in order to retain the property rights so that down the road he can make another Fantastic Four film, which they did. But unbeknownst to everybody involved, except him, they did not know that was going to happen. Everybody involved in the making of this film pretty much expected this movie to be released, expected it to be, like, out there. But it never, ever happened. And it's just a fascinating journey to watch how those dramatic events unfold from beginning to end. Doomed is much like many other great documentaries about films that were never made or were made and just spiraled out of control, like Lost Souls, about Richard Stanley's Dr. Moreau, or The Death of Superman Lives, What Happened, Lost in La Mancha, and Joe Dorowski's Dune. Films like that, and it's Doomed is in good company, and it's just fascinating and really entertaining to take a look at how this thing is unfolded, and no pun intended. But for me, I only knew about the fact that the film was supposed to be made and only to retain the rights, but I didn't know all the details about everything involved. You would literally have to dig deep into the internet to find any articles about the making of the film back in 1993, 94, 95 when it was in production. But Langford's documentary is very enlightening, and for fans of comic books or fans of documentary, it's about films in general, there's a lot to enjoy in this one. And as I mentioned, it's as good as the other documentaries that I mentioned. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would give Doomed an 8. Truly enjoyable and definitely worth checking out, and be prepared for the possibility that you might want to watch the original Fantastic Four if it's available to you. So, Doomed is making its rounds at Comic-Cons and film festivals, so if it happens to hit your area, by all means, definitely go check it out. If you like my review, hit the like button down below. I added a trailer for Doomed in the description box, and if you haven't already, or if you already have, thank you very much. hit the subscribe button so you can get to see all my reviews about other films coming up in future past and present. So until next time, see you at the movies.